Okay, so day 2 of Project Toybota. First off, let me clear up a few things. A lot of people were saying to me in the my first video, Aaron, get your facts straight. It was actually a Nissan in the second in the second show where they actually crossed the channel. I agree. I was just filming and thinking Toybota, and Toyota is the one that started it. And I'm actually using a LC70, which is still a Toyota, which still goes with Toybota. So I'm gonna go with that and just have fun because it's RC and I'm using imagination. Now the second thing I'm doing today is I'm kind of muddling through thinking about using a skid plate, because if you look at the first Hilux that he used, the blue one, you'll notice underneath at one point when they actually capsized because they weren't using the oil drums to help keep the truck steady in the water, that they actually had a skid plate underneath. And so I actually have an older skid plate. Look at this from my RZR that I have there. I actually ended up installing a new skid plate instead of the stock one, but I always kept the stock one because of how slippery it is and because it would be good material to refurb for RC stuff. Now the one thing I like about this is this lip right here. I like this. I want this to be like on the front of the chassis of the Toybota, just so when we start in the water, we're not having a lot of resistance. In fact, we got a bit of a bow. The only problem I'm having, apart from the holes, is the unevenness of these dips, right? Because this one's, you can see it's uneven, and then compared to this one's quite shallow. So that's a bummer. Or am I going to go straight over to here, right, and just kind of heat it up, cut it out, heat it up, and bend it to where I want? But I've never actually heated up this kind of plastic, so I don't know if it's going to bend and stay very well. So I may actually just go this route and cut it. I am going to cut it full length, even though I'll probably change the length as I go. But when you're working on things and just brainstorming, you know, I'd rather start with too much than too little and want to add on more later. Now I just need a rough cut really, so I'm just gonna tape it out where I want it cut. So looks like I want it cut all the way to the end, but what I'm gonna do is mark it like this first, just to show the width where the outside tires are. Really, it's the inside tires that I want to cut. You'll see what I mean. So, safety glasses. That's the beauty of RC fabrication, or any kind of fabrication when you're just winging it. You never quite know if it's going to work, but it won't work if you don't try. There, that looks pretty good. All right, so here we are back at the work table. And I did, since the last episode, fix the bowing issue I had where it was looking kind of bent. It was actually this screw and a screw on the other side that wasn't done up quite tight enough. Now, you'll also see that I've gone in and I've done quite a bit more taping. In fact, except for a little bit of glue I need in the side, you can't really tell that there's any tape or foam on the inside at all. And for those that missed the last episode, all of this cab, that's why it's painted dark window and everything, all of the cab is actually all foam. Now it's all been taped in there, so it's very sturdy. All of this is foam as well. A lot of people said I could have used spray foam on this, and that's true, but I would have a lot more difficult time removing it if I ever did want to remove it. Plus I'm worried about heat issues. So with the way I have this all taped up, yes, there is foam in there, but around the motor and everything, it's all exposed to the elements still. Only thing that's here is, of course, the transmission servo that's shifting right here, the LiPo battery that fits here, and of course the motor and spur, which is wide in the open. Best part is you can't even tell that there is anything there. Now I will be getting the barrels for stabilization in the back, but I'm not at that stage yet. In fact, I also want to get an interior for the back so we have a steering wheel for the outboard motor. Now, I want to keep going on this, so I'm going to bring in the chassis and let's have a look at the skid plate and see where I'm even going with it, because I'm not sure yet. But with a little bit of brainstorming, I'm sure we can come up with something kind of cool, so let's do it. Okay, here is the chassis. This is the front where the steering servo is, where the motor and transmission. Here's the transmission servo for shifting from high to low gear. The center transfer case is right there. Here is the skid plate I have now. This actually has this raised bevel to it right here, and I would think I would want that on the bottom. The problem is that gives me less clearance on the bottom of the truck. Now let's be very clear about my project to begin with. This, to me, is somewhat close to a replica. That's why it's a tribute to the BBC Top Gear truck, the Toybota. And I gotta say that I'm not gonna be able to get everything the way they had it, but I want to do my version of it. And that's the funny part about it, is that what am I gonna do with the skid plate itself? Am I gonna have the whole thing covered up underneath? No. I'm not sure yet, because I still want it to be a capable truck. It doesn't have to be trail capable. It has to be road capable, right? Because all they did was drive it on the road, to the beach, into the water, out onto the beach again, and back onto the road. So I'm not looking for an off-road champion here. So what does that mean in clearance underneath? Well, that really depends on what I'm looking for, because I want some sort of bow, so I don't have a lot of resistance when it's hitting this front pumpkin area for the differential. So really, I would like to have it where I had that indent, you know, going on the inside, so I do have a little bit of clearance here. Check it out, I cut it perfectly. It has just the most minimal rub there, so I'll probably want to go in and use the grinder and grind it down just about maybe 1/4 of an inch. That was a pretty good eyeball though. But so this indent, in case you're getting optical illusion, is going down, which gives me the clearance. And where are the mounting holes? See, the C-hubs also have to be able to turn as well. This was another issue they had run into in the show, where Jeremy wanted a full skid plate on the bottom, but this is the issue. You cannot turn when you're on the road. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way not only to just shave in some of the back so it's not rubbing, but also kind of give this a clearance area as well as giving it the bow. I'm sure you guys are following along so far. Now let's see how the body fits on there, even with that, so we can see where the bow would go. Now it is kind of a snug fit and usually needs some screws in there, but that's roughly where it sits. Here's where that skid plate sits and looks kind of stupid on the bottom, hey? Because we don't want that to be like that. But I still wanted to have enough truck clearance that we had some suspension movement. So this makes me think that if I did have this move forward, how close can I actually drop it? Should I actually open up? down, like should I have just the nose and then just bend this down a little bit and then just have the front, you know, kind of pop up in the water and have this all drag, maybe cut it here and just have it go to the transfer case? That's a possibility. The problem is I still have to cut in here to make the tires turn, so I don't want to mess this up. It's not like I've got lots of these different skid plates laying around, but I would think that if I made the bow come up to here and then I followed the drive shaft line, which you guys can't see, but right there, right, if I had it kind of angled down and came attached to the transfer case, I don't know, that may be the best kind of, I know what to do, I think. Okay, so I did do a rough cut in half, and I am going to do it where it has less clearance on the bottom, but gives me a bit of a dip, and that's, I think, going to help me with lift. Plus, also, when I have to cut a hole here for the pumpkin area, it should be a little bit easier. Closer and closer, my prototype is getting closer. Alright, now what are we thinking? The true trial and errors. Good, clear. Clear. Yes. Okay, so, gotta take the body back off of the truck so I can actually get to those leaf spring suspension screws. Okay, I'm gonna just start removing the screws. Okay, after tons of hours of muddling about, it has only been minutes for you guys while you're watching the show, but throughout the day I've been working on this project, trying to see if the weight of this actual skid plate is going to be worth it, and I think it is. And you can see that I have full range of steering, even though it looks like it's hitting here, it is not. Plus, I also want to be bending this part up to the transfer case right here, right? Now, you would think that this is bothering the drive shaft, but actually, indeed, even though you can't quite see it, it does clear, and I still have quite a bit of suspension. So there are 2 screws in the transfer case itself. I don't think I'm going to be using those screws. I think I might even use some strong double-sided tape right here, depending on how it's going. Now, also what I was thinking is, heck, I may as well, like, since I have these bolted in here, here, and here, and here, what I'm gonna do is put a piece of tape over this when I'm done, right? I'm gonna seal up the hole completely. But I've made 3 marks where I started to need to bend it, and I think that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna undo these 4 leaf spring bolts and then start to heat it up. And for the final bit of the day, I'm gonna try to heat it, bring it up, put the body on, see if it even was a viable idea to begin with. On the underside of this, I've got the leaf spring screws right here extended out. I can go ahead and mount this up now, and I'm going to do that and come back. Ta-da! All done. Okay, it's just that easy. So now I've just got it in between gears so I can roll it back and forth. You can see that I actually have a pretty impressive skid plate on the front. Let's move the camera so you can see. And there it is. If it wasn't so aggressive, I could even use that on the trail, hey? Look at that. Just poking through just a little bit, but I wanted it to have enough room that it could go through. So I'm gonna just simply put a piece of tape over that when the time comes, because I don't want any water just pushing its way in, which is, you know, regardless, it doesn't matter. There's going to be water everywhere. I can't keep it out. The only thing I'm wondering is, am I actually going to bend this up and attach it right there, which I think I will, because it will still give me belly clearance, right? And we can still use the truck as a truck. Or do I just put a spacer in there and just have it, you know, just, you know, a street worthy, like I said it was for the show itself. I don't know. I could put a spacer in there. The other thing I'm wondering is, this is such a nice wide base, right? You can see I've basically ground it down where it's equal on both sides, and it has a lip here and a lip here. Should I keep it where it's a nice flat base like that? Or should I take that and actually, like this flap right here, should I bend it up so it's only this piece that's exposed, and of course these pieces are up a little bit like a channel? So that's what I have to decide. Let me see if I can put the body on for you. Okay, there it is. When all is said and done, that is the skid plate. Now it looks kind of silly right now, but keep in mind what the project is. I want this to be able to go from land into water and then be able to come out on land again. Now the one problem I see that's inherent, especially if I don't actually prop this up or fix this somehow, is that anytime I reverse, it's gonna, you know, get caught on something. So the one thing I think I should do is go in and take it and melt these sides, push them up against this chassis rail, which still will allow for everything to move through. Plus, it also minimizes these hang-up points. Now, I do have to worry about this hang-up point a little bit, but if I do attach it to the transfer case where it is right there, kind of grind it to a beveled edge, I don't think it will be as bad, because it'll just be this tray. So, I think it's happening, my friends, slowly but surely. The Toybota is almost there. I want to go and bend these up right now just to have a look at how it is. But I'll tell you what, when we start to power in the water, at least we'll be able to have some lift and some carry through. What a unique and fun project. Guys, post up what you think in the video comment section below. Sorry, I know I rambled on. Some of you always ask me to do longer build videos, and so today was one of those where I just wanted to kind of muddle through, do my best, you know, and I'm sure there's 100 different ways I could do this, but I only have one brain. So if you guys have any comments or suggestions or whatever you want, post it up in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video, share the project. A BBC tribute to Top Gear, Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and of course Richard Hammond and the Toybota. This is a tribute to you guys, so hopefully the viewers are enjoying this as well, and we'll see you in the next episode of RC Adventures. Now get outside and enjoy the hobby of RC. Bye-bye.